Nikola Jokic is the best player in the NBA, bar none. And I'm glad that he's finally getting the respect that he deserves. So you guys all know what happened last week. The Denver Nuggets did the unthinkable. They swept the Los Angeles Lakers, and they swept LeBron James. LeBron James has only ever been swept in his career 3 times. Once in 2007 when he was still pretty much a pup, when he took the 2007 Cavaliers against a really good San Antonio Spurs team that was coached by Greg Popovic. Then in 2018 when it was just unfair that his Cleveland Cavaliers went up against a stacked Golden State team with Kevin Durant. And then this year by the Denver Nuggets. What made this year very special was that LeBron James's team was actually really good. Unlike those other teams where he had no chance to win, this team was actually expected to win. The Lakers post-trade deadline this year was a completely different team. And they had made quick work of the Memphis Grizzlies, a really good team, and have been a really good team for the past 2 years in the NBA. And the Golden State Warriors, who had Steph and Curry, which was a really tough series for them, right? They won both series in 6 games, and they went up against the Denver Nuggets. And to everybody's surprise, but not mine, and I'll touch on that later, the Denver Nuggets swept LeBron James. They swept the Lakers. Nothing the Lakers did mattered. And it took that in order for the media to start respecting Nikola Jokic. It took that in order for NBA Twitter, for all the memers, to start respecting Nikola Jokic. But this is something I've always known to be true, that Nikola Jokic is actually really good. And the only reason they didn't talk about him in the media as much was because Nikola Jokic, his game was kind of like Tim Duncan's game. Nothing really flashy, but extremely efficient and extremely effective. And it feels like I've been screaming at the top of my lungs to the world to say, hey guys, look at this guy here. Like, I get that you guys are all for Giannis Antetokounmpo, Kevin Durant, and like LeBron James and Steph Curry, but like, look at this guy. He's actually really good and might be the best player in the NBA. But Nikola Jokic never got the notoriety, never got the, I wouldn't say notoriety, we knew of him, but he just never got the respect. In fact, I made a video last year, and it was titled, "Is Nikola Jokic the most disrespected MVP of all time?" Why? Because even though this guy had just won an MVP in 2021, it still felt like people weren't talking about him enough. And I was so surprised. And then I sat down to actually watch Nikola Jokic play basketball. And the more I watched him, the more I was like, wow, I like this player. The reason for that was because every time the ball was in Nikola Jokic's hand, I felt comfortable. I felt secure. I felt like something was going to happen. There are very few players in the NBA that I feel like that when I'm watching a game. So if I'm watching a game, right, and I normally want a certain team out of the 2 to win, if it's not the Toronto Raptors. So like last year, when I was watching the Denver Nuggets versus the Golden State Warriors in the first round, I was kind of rooting for the Denver Nuggets because it was Nikola Jokic by himself versus a really good team, the Golden State Warriors. And so I was kind of rooting for the Denver Nuggets. I kind of bought into it, right? Every time the ball went into Nikola Jokic's hand, something would happen. He would make something happen for his team, or he would make something himself. It felt like he was very responsible with the ball, and he was very skilled. If the Denver Nuggets were healthy last year, they would have beat the Golden State Warriors that won the championship last year and would have been the best team in the West. And there are very few amount of players in the league that I feel that way about. LeBron James is one of them. Steph Curry is one of them. Nikola Jokic is one of them. I think those are the only 3 players in which I watch a game, I can trust them with the ball to make the right play, to make something happen. I just know when they are on the court, their team is never out for the count. They may be down, but they never are out for the count. And so Nikola Jokic struck my eyes as that last year. Going into the summer of last year, I talked more and more about Nikola Jokic. I tried to just rile up, hype up around this guy, because what I was seeing was, wow, this guy, the Denver Nuggets are coming. And I made a video about that. In October, before the season started, I made a video saying, do not sleep on the Denver Nuggets. And in that video, I spoke about how good Nikola Jokic is and how good the Denver Nuggets were going to be